Welcome, 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 ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen, Risco Clock, Red JJ.
But first, before anything, Mazef, sahau shida zako sahi. I demand you forget your problems.
I'm glad you waited. Through love is patience. You're here today, baby. It's never too late. But when you got...
Welcome to the show, and today the music policy is sponsored by the Red GG again.
Gonna miss you again. Gonna miss you again. When you gotta miss you again.
When you
Gotta miss you again. Yeah. Close to heart is where you stayed. Let you in, but I knew you could eventually nothing new. You broke a girl, she stole my head, she ran. She pretty, no maybe my wishes be my lady.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen?
And I miss you again.
Kidogo acha nifungue mlango bana. We are live yani.
Miss you again.
So before I was rudely interrupted, nilikuwa nasema ya kwamba nilikuwa nasema ya kwamba nilikuwa nasema I missed you guys, man.
I miss you again. God, I miss you again. When you got, I miss you again.
Check. Nairobi.
God, I miss you again.
Rongai to Karen bana.
When you got,
Amazing. Can somebody do it better than me? I'm living my dream. So today, as you know, Maze, leo ni part 2 of my story. And leo tuko from ages 11 to age 20. And today nawapeleka mpaka ile mwaka inaitwa 2006. How old were you in 2006? Some of you mko mmezaliwa, but ladies and gentlemen, sao hizo shida, let's go. So after kusahau shida zako, let's flow. So in the year 2006, man, as I clear 2006, I was in class 5. In class 5, I had my first stint in a boarding school. You know, coming from a day school that was a private, this is the first time that I'm in a boarding school, and ladies and gentlemen, it was a new experience for me. Shout out kina Dan Guto, Mike, Sugu, Nyamwaro. Those who are part of my classmates and people who made my story in that time of my history amazing. So Dan Guto, in my first time in boarding school, he was my deskmate. So one of the most prevalent themes in that portion of my life was the instances of bullying that used to happen in primary school. So there used to be this class monitor guy who I'm not going to mention their name because tuliwasamea. Now the assistant alikuwa anaitwa Elvin. So these two guys were Frank was older and the other guy was his friend, alikuwa homie wake kutoka place inaitwa Ogembo. And let me tell you guys, these guys were real bullies. And everybody was scared of them. Everybody. So now imagine me coming up in class 5 and I realize kila mtu hii class anaogopa ase wawili. A reason I don't know. So by the fact that they were class monitor and the assistant, they used to mazee walikuwa na chapa wase sometimes. They used to it was crazy, man. And then that time kulikuwa na hii culture ya kuuziana vijiko. Now I'm exposed to commerce for the first time. Nikisema kuuzia vijiko ilikuwa inamaanisha when guys come for supper, anakupatia a piece of their ugali at the expectation the next time tukiserve githeri utampatia a certain number of spoons.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Risco Clock.
Was crazy, man.
My name is the
But now the funny thing that with these two guys, the class monitor and the assistant, they used to manipulate the trade against others.
Prove it, just it, cause they love me. One of them, what is that? Yeah, they know fast fresh, no popular.
And their main tool of trade was fear.
The one I miss with the green grannies, like sun, use me wasn't money, prove it. If it wasn't money, prove it. If it wasn't money, prove it.
So you could get someone mwenye amewauzia tuseme their portion of ugali for spoons of githeri in the next Thursday. Githeri ilikuwa inaserviwa Thursday and githeri used to be a favorite at that time. Tulikuwa tunaita nyoyo. So these guys, unlike others when walikuwa wanalipa, for them lazima wangekutax everyone because they were class monitor and monitor. Assistant monitor, sorry.
If it wasn't money, prove it. Or maybe I'm ill, sick, wellness in a hospice, stay.
So the class 5 goes well. Ikafika time flani wase wakachoka na wase. Now we are in class 6.
If it wasn't money, prove it. That's it.
And now it was sometime in the night towards shule kufungwa. And these guys being bullies as they were, now this 2007 January, as they were bullies, now that night they are excited, the closest school is coming to a close in 3 days. So what do? What they did was, that night they were bullying people, wakiwapiga mangoto, and then wakafika kwangu, you know what they did?
Ladies and gentlemen, the red.
Huyo msee alikuwa anaitwa, sitaki kusema jina yake juu tulisahau hizo story. Mazi alinitemea mate bana. Wewe.
Ladies and gentlemen.
And that's the time wase walisema ilianza na msee mmoja alikuwa anaitwa Edwin Nyakundi aka Okari. Yeye alianza soon after everybody anasema niaje mazee wase wanatuzoea bana. Kila msee ikakuwa the whole class and these guys were scared now. The power of urgency. Asa walikuwa wamekanyagia kila msee for that entire long time. But this time round wase wamesema wana boo like mazee unafanya nini unatemea Atina mate kwa nini? It was crazy, man. And then immediately Frank akaanza nimesema jina yake, I'm sorry. But alianza ku apologize. So that was the end of colonialism. Ukoloni ilisha hiyo time. And from there, after the next time tunatoka report kwa class teacher, the next time anatolewa class monitor, and now guess who was the monitor?
Eventually nothing new. Get broke, girl, she stole my head.
Me, aka M.E., the Red GG, the man talking to you right now. Ladies and gentlemen, from kutemewa mate to kwa class monitor. Man. So this is the year 2007 now. In January, immediately umetoka home. And now this was my first instance of truancy. I think it might have been the second time, not the first time, but actually it was in January to story ilianza hapo. So this time, people wameenda kupiga kura tarehe 30, I think tarehe 30 ndio my sister alizaliwa. That time, tarehe 30 of December 2007, one of my sisters was born then. So what do? There were scares that there was going to be violence, although iko imeanza. So the direction was that we had to go to open school. So as usual, my mango akanipeleka shule, we opened school, but teachers were not coming for the first week in that January of 2008 now. Because kura ilipigwa December 2007, 2008 January, we're going back to school. Around 3rd of January 2007. Might have been a Tuesday, Wednesday, or a Wednesday. So what do? We head to school with my mother. There was scare that there's going to be violence. And you know, tulikuwa tunaishi kwa boda ya the Kisis and the Kipsigis. And as you know, at that time in history, it was a lot of violence was between the Gusii people and the Kipsigis people at the Borabu border. Kama unajua Kineni, Chebing'ombe, Manga, Eronge. Ladies and gentlemen, those were the areas mali shule yetu ilikuwa. And this is 2007, 2008. So my mom amenipeleka shule, we are in school. Na tumeanza mwaka vizuri, everybody was happy. But there were scares of violence. 1 week passes, second week passes. Now the real violence ilianza kuonekana. But since shule zilikuwa zimeshafunguliwa and violence imeanza, there's no way watu wangeenda home because there was severe violence, watoto wataumizwa huko njiani watu wakipigana. So one instance tukiwa games at that class 6, tukiwa class 6 class 6 kulikuwa na lori ya kanta imebeba youth. Everybody akona mshale, akona panga, wakona whips, wamejazwa kwa lori ya kanta wakienda kupigana vita huko kwa boda ya Borabu. And then sasa sisi tunagoa kuuliza nani, but kuna sio walikuwa wanajua what's going on. They told us these are Chinkororo. If you come from Kisii, you must know Chinkororo. If you don't know Chinkororo, you are probably gay na wewe ni mkawe ni Mkisii. So we see Chinkororo wamejaza kwa kanta, wako na whips, wako na mishale, wako na mikuki, they are going to war. So they go to war, and that war used to be crazy because a tribal war ikwangi eti ni war all out. Ni mnaenda mnakaa kwa boda, mnaelewana at the times, mnapigana, mkimaliza kupigana mnaenda lunch, mnarudi mnaendelea kupigana. And the serious war, people are dying, but we agree to fight. It's crazy. So around this time, second term inakuja, bado war inaendelea. But before that time, tukirudio second term, tukirudio first term, tulieka kwa hall since ilikuwa after KCPE. So sisi watu wa lower classes tuliekuwa kwa dining hall, hapo ndo tunasomea, wengine wakifanya mtihani. But now since tulikuwa tumefunga shule na vita zikawa zimesongeshwa, tulikuwa in that hall vile shule imefunguliwa, we were there chilling, tukingoja watu ifunguliwe shule, ifunguliwe fully, but walimu hawakuwa wanakaa juu kulikuwa na violence. And then this mwalimu alikuwa anaitwa Mr. Asanya. Mr. Asanya was a son to one of our teachers, R.I.P. Madam Sabina. But he used to be a very peculiar guy. Alikuwa anaandika with both of his hands. Ile ituaje wakati mtu andika na both hands, ambidextrous. So Mr. Asanya was ambidextrous. So alikuwa ni mtu mwenye akikupiga viboka akichoka na inside, anapiga na nyingine. So Asanya comes to class na tupata tukipiga kelele. Na unajua ndio tumetoka home. Of course we are excited. We are telling other stories, most of them lies. We were excited. So akatupata tukipiga kelele, mazee akatuchapa sisi wote. Unajua ndio tumetoka home. So watu wako na poke. Mbona mtu anatuchapa na ndio tumefungua shule? Anataka kutuanzia term vibaya. We were very superstitious, man. So what do? Immediately that happens, man. Some of us tukamwa maze, we have to go home. Si tunaepa shule, we can't stay here.
No popular rally with the hoes that feel wasn't money, prove it. No hugs, deep kiss, you're the one I miss. With the green grannies, like sun, use me, wasn't money, prove it. Feel wasn't money, prove it. Feel wasn't money, prove it. Hey,
so after ametuchapa, myself together with kina Boniface Ondari, Cliffo Mune, Dionysius Nyakundi, although himself kwa muoga, tunaenda kwa fence, tunataka kutoroka tuende home. And that's what we did. So unajua mkitoka class mkiwa wengi mkiendea huko mkielekea choo, mnaona ni kama nyinyi wote mnaenda kutoroka, because most of us tulitoka tukienda maze tunaenda home. Utatuchapaje na ndio tumetoka home. So tumefika fence. Wenye wanataka kuhepa wameruka fence, wameenda ile side nyingine, wamekimbia, they are going home. Na kalikuwa kaende bro, we are going. Hakuna vile umwe watatuchapa hivi. So long story short, man, tumetoroka, tumepita ndani ya mahindi, makofi. Tukafika junction flani, and then tuko na gari ya father ikikam. Father alikuwa the father in charge of the school that we used to attend. Yendo father in charge was St. Andrew Kagwe Boys, St. Andrew Kagwe Girls, Nyensiongo, St. Kizito. Tunampata njiani na tumetoroka shule. Sisi tuko hapa na Boniface Ondari na someone else. Boniface Ondari used to work with a stick. He was he was specially abled.
ladies and gentlemen,
that's a euphemism to say he was disabled. So tumetoroka na yeye na mimi na Omune, some other guys wenye sikumbuki, but father natupata nje na anauliza, na shule si imefunguliwa sasa hivi, where you guys headed to? Father, unajua nini? Huyu jamaa kwetu tumeambiwa tuende tumsaidie kuchukua fimbo pale Nyansiongo alafu turudi nyumbani. So father akachorea akaona nikawa sasa anasema ukweli, wameenda kusaidia huyu jamaa kuchukua fimbo, acha tuachane. Kumbe tumetoroka bro. So each time tunatoroka tunatembea ndani ya makofi, tunafika Kijauri town, ilikuwa almost 4 jioni. So 4 jioni tumefika pale Nyansiongo, tukaingia kwa gari. Mimi nakumbuka madhangu alikuwa anipatia pocket money ya 200. So nilikuwa na only 200 between me and poverty, na nimepa shule. Naingia pale kwa gari, tuna set off maze. Tunaenda home. And then the unexpected happens. Tumefika place fulani inaitwa Metamayo. Kumbuka hii ni 2007. Guess nani ameingia kwa gari? My mama kitoka shule. It's crazy. So Kinondari wakaniambia, sasa wewe jificha hapa chini, mamaka asikuone, akishuka ndio ushuke. And this real stuff, siki tuna make up, that's what happened, man. Miss you again. So Ondari wakafanya nini? Wakanificha, tukafika Keroka, mamangu hakushuka home. You know, our home is before we ufike Keroka, but mamangu hakushuka that time. Akamwa shuke Keroka. So nikamgoja akashuka. wakati ameenda hivi kidogo na mimi pia nikahepa nikashuka. Jufa yangu ilikuwa inaishia Keroka. These other guys wanaenda Kisii, wanaenda Ugembo huko mbali. So that's what happened, man. So tumetoka pale tukaingia nikaenda home. Kwenda home ndio nikapata mom. Nikamwambia nimehepa shule. Unadhani ningemwambia nimehepa shule wewe? Nilimwambia tu nimeambiwa niende home. So my mom was confused. Mbona huyu jamaa amekuja home? The next morning ananisindikiza, nilichapwa. Na nikasetio raya ingine, man. It was bad. So nafika pale shule, mwalimu ananiuliza, Atina, where are you coming from? Sasa asubuhi unaleta na mamako, si jana ulikuwa shule? Hapana mwalimu, kuna mwalimu Mr. Asanya alituchapa jana, mimi nikaona viandole ile saa nikatoroka nikaenda home. Sema kuchapo, so kanichapo wakaniruhusu nikaingia class, and apparently they hadn't taken the roll call. So hawakuwa wanajua sababu my friends walikuwa wametoroka until niwaambie. They took a roll call na wakapata watu walikuwa wametoroka. And that was the beginning of my gangster life. But now looking back in retrospect, why was my mother and my parents insisting on taking me to a boarding school when I was just 10 years? Why are parents insisting of taking kids who can barely... Bro, hata sikuwa najua kuosha hata boxer yangu bana. Why are you taking me to a school? Nikaenda huko kuteseka. Ama mnataka nibaki huko so that you can make kids at home? It's crazy. So to be honest, I didn't like my experience at boarding school. And I think boarding schools are a waste of time, a waste of resources, and children are exposed to unnecessary abuse in those schools, including bullying and all kinds of vices, because this is when we get exposed to other vices in society. Vitu kama mimi nilianza kuona crazy. Should I say it right now? But this is the first time nakuwa exposed to boys touching other boys inappropriately in boarding school. Was I touched? Maybe I did, maybe a teacher, but to keep the conversation going, boarding schools are not the best thing to happen since sliced bread. So I'm against them. I hate boarding schools. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my podcast. This is I-Persp TV. Na sai tuko 2007. I'm giving you my experience nikiwa boarding school. And now we're going on. We're still going on. Thank you for joining us. You can leave us your text at 0799 771 444 for shoutouts. Shoutouts za last week tapiana at the end of the show. So my first instance of the first friend I made at St. Andrew Kagwa Boys was a gentleman by the name Dan Guto. Shout out Dan Guto. Dan Guto exposed me to things like hip hop, man. Your time though 50 Cent alikuwa na trend. It's Dan who introduced me to 50 Cent. Na nilikuwa naona kwa penso yake alikuwa ameandika Aftermath. So alikuwa mtu address zaidi. Mimi kwa naona 50 Cent kama mjaka fulani na ushamba yangu toka Keroka. Kwa hiyo huyu jamani mjaka huyu. So Dan Guto alikuwa anatoka Nairobi that time. alikuwa Dan was smart, and one of the conversations that nakumbuka kiniambia ni, you know, after that bullying incident imeisha and we tumeoverthrow Gava, now there was some sense of freedom, na mimi nilianza kujiexpress, nilianza kuwa more rough like the other boys who used to be there. Nilikuwa soft, to be honest. My life changes, and then sasa nimeanza kuingia group ya sewa baya, mtiani nikaanza kuanguka. Then one day Dana niambia, mazeni aje, unajua mbona umekuwa ukidrops your academics? Ni because these days unajishughulisha na mambo ya wase sana. So that's my transition from class 5 to class 6. Class 5 I was a soft guy. Class 6 bro, I was the baddest. My grades began dropping, and then realized Dana niambia, mazee umeanza kutini story za watu sana, ndo maana umefanya nini, ndo maana umeanza kufall mtiani. And I think that's one of my foundational beliefs that I hold on to this point in time, that in this pursuit of success, the moment you realize that you are hanging with people too much or thinking about what they do too much, then that's the recipe for failure. It's like the sunshine up in the morning, that you always gone high. So to be successful, you have to think very little about others and think about yourself and what you can do. That's what my lesson from my story from Dan. And I believe in that because that's my experience. So fast forward, class 6 imekuwa gangster, class 7 tumekuwa magangster pia. Tulikuwa tunaenda St. Kizito, Nyansiongo kuchukua mkate. Kulikuwa na story kwenye itwa ambush. Ambush is whereby you could find someone with bread kutoka high school na mnamsnatch. And the same was sanctioned even by the administration. Walisema ukipata mtu na mkate, snatch them. Ambush. It was crazy. Shout out Obwamu. Shout out Elvis Saka. Shout out Oira. Those were the bullies who were going to snatch mkate za wase. Now this particular character alikuwa to Obwamu. Obwamu could snatch the bread from you, and even kama umeikula anaweza hata kuitoa kwa nini na aitoe na yake kwa mdomo yake. Obwamu was maniac. Obwamu alikuwa mjaka. I miss you again. So class 7 there was a lot of bullying, there's a lot of snatching of food. Now we're going to 2009. I miss you again. Now I'm in class 8. Now there was this culture in that school ya watoto kuchapwa wenye wamepata below 300 marks. And it used to happen every Friday after exams. So mkifanya mtihani week, tuseme Wednesday mfanye mtihani, Thursday mfanye mtihani, Saturday mfanye mtihani, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the next Friday mnajua ni mboko. Here's what they used to happen. So in the morning, our principal, our headmaster that time, Mr. Obonyo. Shout out to Mr. Obonyo. Mr. Obonyo anatuma watchman. My watchman enda kwa forest Kineni, leta viboko. So the watchy guy could come with a lot of canes, a lot of canes in that evening in kunya deep. So around saa 5 hivi mnamuona akiingia na kuni zake za viboko. Mnajua be ni kubaya leo jioni. In a boarding school, again you cannot run away. When you gotta miss you again. So in this particular incident, kulikuwa na jamaa fulani alikuwa anaitwa, I think alikuwa Edwin. Some guy who was very, 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 very brown. I don't remember his name, but now Edwin alichapwa sana. I think alikuwa beef na with the deputy headmaster wa hiyo shule. Alichapa ujamaa kwa deep man. So deep unajua mko mnaitwa pale mbele mnaambiwa watu wako na below 300. Brian Atina. George Saka. Dan Guto, Mike Nyamwaro, Bro, mnalala chini, mnapangwa chini, alafu unajua ni kila mwalimu kutoka staff room. Walimu walikuwa 27 na viboko zimejaa hivi na mnalala chini, kila mwalimu akupiga viboko kama 3 bro. Na walimu ni 27. Na deep ilikuwa ina happen after staff meeting. So kila mwalimu yuko na after that wanapewa chai tena. Shit. It was crazy. So mnalala chini, mnatandikwa proper. And now that evening, going back to Edwin alienda kustrike, si kustrike, but namaanisha kustrike ilikuwa alienda kurotate namaanisha kuendea food for the second time. Then akashikwa na deputy, mazali chapo hadi akafaint. So now it's Monday, after Edwin kuchapwa, tunakuja tunaambiwa mazo unajua Edwin ako si na hajai toka huko tangu aniniwe. So apparently nasikia rumor ilifikia wazazi wake tu jamaa amechapa mwanafunzi hadi amefaint. So on Monday morning kuna rumor eti wazazi wake wanaweza kam shule. So depa akatoroka and there was some kind of attention kwa shule. What do I do? I go and I drew a cartoon of the teacher akichapa mwanafunzi. So mimi nikachora cartoon yangu, mwanafunzi ako chini, ujamaa akimtandika viboko. Na ilikuwa break time. Na mimi na ufala yangu nikachukua hiyo karatasi nikiweka kwa wall. Kwa dirisha ya nini, kila mtu to see. So tumeendea chai, tukarudi, nikasahau kutoa ile karatasi pale. Then there was this mwalimu alikuwa anaitwa Mr. Movunja. Mr. Movunja alikuwa anaitwa Andrew pia. Akuja akapatia karatasi akasoma, nani amechora hii kitu? Mamblena wakasema ni mimi. So I had to stand and ikweli kwa ni mimi bro, nikaenda. So karatasi ikapelekwa staff room. Na huyu jamaa akapatia, he gave that paper to some madam teachers. One of them, Madam Mary. Madam Mary, you did me wrong, but I forgive. Madam Mary walinichapa hadi wakani strip man. Shit. And then they're telling me now, kimbia shule nzima ukiruka. You can imagine you with your boxers and probably some cowboy underpants. Katamkundu bro. And then they're telling you maze kimbia shule nzima. That was crazy. Madam Mary, akili yako ilikuwa sawa. What were you doing to a child? I think she was a pervert, but anyway, I forgave her. So that's it. Incident imeisha. And maybe that should inform you my opinion on boarding school Malinatoke is from a place of abuse and dislike. Man, that was a lot of abuse. I think this madam had her own problem and she was venting it out to me. And leading me to a conclusion that, man, every teacher who is abusing a kid, akimchapa viboko. In fact, why do we need a bell in a school? Why do we need a bell in a school if we are not bringing up a generation ya watu wenye wanasaidiwa kufikiriwa with other things? So in my opinion, I think some of the things that should be banned in schools is number 1, a bell. Number 2, kuchapwa. Why? Children should be allowed to grow using their own common sense and not be fixated to being, manipulated to behave in a certain kind of way. Because once these children get freedom in our universities and our colleges, then they abuse it. Case in point, myself. So I think caning should be abolished. Bells should be abolished. and kids should be allowed to grow in a natural way whereby they use their common sense to decide what is right.
It's like the sun coming up in the morning. The dew is gone high, Mr.
And that's the change that we want to see.
If it wasn't money, prove it. Can afford the weeks, further can you drive? VIP tickets to the line.
So ladies and gentlemen, leo sasa hii tuko 2009.
Prove it. Or maybe I'm ears.
2009 hapo hivyo.
Stay then or pass by. If it wasn't money, prove it.
I'm in boarding school, and I'm going to take you through what a typical visiting day in my primary school days used to be. It used to be crazy, man. So on visiting ilikuwa ina happen every second Saturday of the month. So every second of Saturday of the month, your parents could come, wanakuletea vitu hauna, tuseme kama una Colgate, if you don't have some toothpaste, maybe you don't have soap, maybe you don't have your sweater is old, and that kind of stuff. That's how visiting day used to be. And then now, in our school, there was no canteen, there was no they didn't allow food from outside, so you could only eat what is provided by school, which was trash, by the way. I think why were they trying to save resources? They used to siku mwingine inatoshana hivi man, imekatwa sijui mara 3. That's what you used to eat. It's never too late, but when you and yet the same people who run these schools do not allow us to get so man, it used to be crazy. Hatukuwa tunashiba, man. And this is the time mtu ako 13, 14, they are growing, they are realizing themselves, they are going to adolescence, and the food is little. When you gotta miss you again. That was another incident of abuse. So in a visiting day, for example, for myself, my mother used to, alikuwa ananifichianga food. Anaweza kuja niweke maziwa mala kwa some bottle, akuja akweke chapati, and then uende ukule tu chini ya maji. But it was illegal. It was almost, you can compare it to ukitembea na cocaine, bro. Unga. That's how food from outside was illegal in that institution. Tume mama anakuja niwekea maziwa lala pale, ananiwekea chapati zao, ananiambia ficha enda ukule. Other parents wazazi wao walikuwa na magari, wanakuja wanafungia ndani ya gari and they give them food. Unakula, unaambia panguza mdomo utoke. Because the penalty of being found with food ilikuwa unatumwa home, you bring food for the whole school. Kama ni mkate, unulie shule nzima mkate. Shout out to Orambui. Orambui aliwahi tuletea mkate shule nzima bana. I miss you again. When you so while the intent of our visiting day was meant to, to see your children, how are they doing, I think the main underlying meaning of a visiting day was a day whereby parents could show off how well off they are. And that's real shit. So my conclusion to the matter is, let us be real with our children. I don't even believe in school uniforms, man. I mean, a parent cannot afford food for their child. A parent may not afford school fees for their child. Why should it be necessary mtoto avalie uniform just because nataka wafanye na watoto wengine? That's stupid. But this goes to show us society is a lie. The theme of society and governance and staff and administration is to show us a kind of image that's not real. That we are equal. We're wearing the same uniform made by the same tailor. Are we equal, really? No, we are not. So going back to the deep stories. Deep stories ilikuwa edipu means, you know, a dip. A cattle dip is whereby cattle zinapitishwa ndani ya maji, zinatolewa pests. So a dip in our context in primary school used to be the day whereby mnachapa viboko because you failed exams. And I gave you some kind of context of what used to happen there. Watchman with their cans. So in this particular incident I had, ni after tumetoroka shule, a week after tumefanya exams. Tumefanya exams and then now ni time ya dip, is a Friday, man. Watu wanatandikwa viboko. Kama ulipata below 300 and nini marks, kuja hapa. Unachapwa kama umbwa bana. So good thing is, enye sikuwa napatanga below 300. But now after wamechapa kila mtu, they used to call wenye wamekuwa criminals at that time in history. Wanasema kuna watu walitorokanga shule. Brian Atina, where are you? Hapo umetandikwa viboko huko nyuma, bado unaambiwa kuja hapa. So Brian Atina, come here. Boniface Ondari, come here. Cliff Omune, come here. Boniface Ondari, come here. Bro, mnaangukiwa viboko na just the 4 of you na walimu 27. Unatoka huko kama unaangalia mwalimu, unapigwa hadi bro, unapigwa viboko kwa matako hadi you become numb, bro. But my conclusion is that our walimu walikuwa katuna shida zao, man. Hakuna vile mtu angetuchapa that way, that kind of violence kama ako sawa. Those people are not normal and you cannot convince me otherwise. So I rebel against them. I rebel against teachers who cane students. It's about time to be students, man. Stand up for yourselves. Pupils, stand up for yourself. When you're abused, when you're caned without reason, stand up for yourself. Stand up against the teacher. Unite and speak for yourself, man. You cannot be a punching bag to people who are losing in their lives. No. So ladies and gentlemen, I see we are 43 minutes in. Hey, leo story imeshika, man. 43 minutes in atujaguza high school. I think there might be a part 2 of part 2. But regardless, I think it will be shorter, but let's go. Sahi sasa ni 2010. We're in the year 2010 now. Brian Atina is joining high school.
Prove it, just say cause they love me. If it wasn't them brothers, yeah, they know fast fresh. No popular rally, where they all that. If it wasn't money, prove it. No hugs, deep kiss, you're the one I miss. With the green grannies, like sun, use me, wasn't money, prove it. If it wasn't money, prove it. If it wasn't money, prove it. Hey, it's like the sun coming up in the morning. The dew is gone high, Mr. where you fly. It's like the sun coming up in the morning. The dew is gone high, Mr. where you fly. It's like the sun coming up in the morning. The dew is gone high, Mr. where you fly. If it wasn't money, prove it. Come for the boost, for the can you drive? VIP tickets to the live, tutors such as life. If it wasn't money, prove it. Or maybe I'm ill, sick, wellness in a hospice. Stay then or pass by. If it wasn't money.
So ladies and gentlemen, it's 2010. I'm in Form 1. At the time in history, the people I looked up to were Kina Brian Nyabicha. It's like the sunshine up in the morning. And one of the things that I was happiest about is that I was now able to wear trousers, man.
It's like
You know, you're wearing trouser for the first time. There was that excitement. Na nakumbuka hiyo time movie ilikuwa ina trend, ilikuwa inaitwa Undisputed 3 ya Boyka. You know Boyka akienda prison. That's the character I used to feel like mini Boyka man. Sasa niko high school. It's 2010. You can check out Undisputed 3 ilitoka lini.
ladies and gentlemen, the Red GT. Nilikuwa na masaa hiyo siku bana.
So man, I'm walking pale kwa hall with my new slippers. I'm feeling like, yeah, I'm Jay-Z.
Ladies and gentlemen,
But unajua form 1 walikuwa na report shule half term ya first term. After term ya first term ndio mnaanza kufanya community work. And that was in Cardinal Tunga, one of the biggest school in that area. Man, I'm grateful to my parents really tried.
It's never too late.
But again, I'm still against the thing of boarding school. But in terms of investing in my education, they really did that, and they are really doing that, and I'm grateful and I'm blessed. Pia niko na roho ya kukaa shule.
Miss you again.
So man, it's form 1 hapa hivi navalia trouser yangu. I'm going to the hall mazee jioni sapa. We didn't know this is the first time I'm in high school. I'm wearing a trouser. I'm feeling like an adult. I'm feeling kuna base pale imeanza kudevelop kidogo. So it was an amazing time.
Close to heart is where you stay. Let you in brand new. You could eventually nothing new. Get broke girl, she stole my head, she ran.
So nakumbuka there was community work. Community work used to be cleaning of the school. Kuosha choo, kuokota takataka, picking the litter. Generally, the general cleanliness of a school, washing the dorms, all that was made to be done by form 1s. Cleaning the dorms, cleaning the litters. Now, I didn't like that.
Baby, it's never too late. But when you're done,
So the moment of trauma used to be every Saturday morning. Kulikuwa na prefect wa community work. Prefect wa community work was even more powerful than head boy.
I miss you again.
Because he could ring the bell. Certain bell yenye ilikuwa inalia at 2 instances. Kuita ma form 1 ama to ring for supper. Yo bell ilikuwa inakanga kitchen.
Miss you again.
So on a Saturday morning, he rings the bell. Ma form 1 mnakimbia mbio kwenda kwa stadium. Na mnapanga lines every class. And then he could issue you with kazi zenu za hiyo wiki. Kusema class 1F, you guys will be cleaning the toilets za walimu, and then you class 1A you'll be cleaning in front of the staff room. Class 1E used to be bitches. No, they were men, but they were bitches. If you know what I mean. These people used to be in bed with community work prefects. So most of the time they were used to be assigned in easy places like the chapel, which was most of the time clean because we only went there for prayers at night. So one ilikuwa ya mamblane na nakaa unasikia ni mbaya kujua ni pig. So most of the time 1F. So this is the first time that there was an extra 6th stream in that school. So 1F ilikuwa watu wamekuja shule later. So most of us tulikuwa tunapewa kazi ngumu sana man. Kuosha choo and some other hard works. It was crazy. But in high school is whereby I get exposed to, like, in high school seniority was respected. by the fact that someone alikuwa form 4 or form 3, there was kind of respect, and this is the time that I'm introduced to that. I think the value of respecting my seniors was instilled when I was in high school. Although not to say some seniors used to abuse their authority and respect. So my conclusion from that point of my life is that high schoolers are the coolest people in any society. Because this is the time to go introduce to new music. This time vibes Katela na trend. The stories are Illuminati, Jonah chini ya umbrella tree. And this is the time I fell in love with music. So my conclusion is, in any society, the demography of the population who are in high school, those are the coolest people in any society. They are in touch with themselves and they are in touch with a lot of art that surrounds them. Debate that. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. I'm grateful that you are riding with me. We are now 51 minutes in. We are in the year 2010. Atina Osoro is in high school. Atina Osoro is in Form 1. There's a lot of bullying that he's observing around. And there's also a lot of injustices that he used to see. Among them, the fact that only Form 1s could do community work and Form 4 wengine wako wanafanya anything. Why is that? So to my first instance of me being bullied as a person was in when I was in Form 2. Mimi nikiwa Kadi nilikuwa nalala Ondieki dorm na nilikuwa nalala 10th cube. 10th cube ilikuwa ya wazito kama kina Brian Nyabicha, William, kina Nico, the likes of Ombuki. There was another guy nimesahau jina yake, Basaini wakili sijui anaitwa nani man. Mwenye alikuwa analala juu ya kitanda ya Brian Nyabicha. Nyabicha, what was the name of that guy? Deep kiss, you're the one I miss with the green grannies like sun, use me for the money. But now, one day, I think by the time nikifika Form 2, kina Nyabicha na kina William walikuwa wanaingia Form 4. So kulikuwa na bed flani ya kona hapo ilikuwa inatumiwa na Nico na sijui kana hapa nimemention jina yake but ni story yangu. So Nico alikuwa amerudia Form 3. Form 3 akarudia tena. Sasa wakamwajo mazee hapana Nico, wewe sasa lazima utransfer. Mimi ni nani wakati Nikali transfer, mimi nilingia bed yake na ilikuwa kwa kona. Na uko Form 2 na unaingia kwa bed ya kona na wewe ni Form 2 bro. Ma Form 4 gena kwa wewe ni aje? Unaishaje kwa kona na wewe ndio junior hapa? So long story short, mimi natoka class nilikuwa napenda kuextend your time. Like nilikuwa napiga kelele mingi wakati wa classes and then enda kuextend. That's how I used to survive. So inside me kulikuwa na kitu inaniambia unafaa tu pite mtihani, but I didn't take it that seriously to be honest. So nimetoka extension, mimi narudi napata bedding zangu zimekuwa first cube kwa mamono man. Mimi ndio kuwa nauliza mazee nani ametoa bed yangu hapa, nani ametoa bedding zangu hapa? Hakuna msanii aniongelesha. Mimi nikaenda kwa prefect nikamuuliza nani ametoa bed yangu, bedding zangu, na akaziweka kwa nini kwa cube ya Form 1 first cube. No one is telling me nothing. What do I do? Nikaenda kwa bed pale ndio nikapata kumbe ni Form 4 ametoa nini yangu, so that hiyo space ibaki hapa kuja kuleta form 1 wake. Because apparently I was stingy.
I'm glad you
Bro, mimi kuleta shule mleta na wazazi wako. Should I provide for you?
baby, it's never too late. But when you got
So long story short, mimi nikabeba bedding zangu nikarudisha. Na nikaambia kawa ni mwanaume basi utoe. You know, you have to stand for yourself sometimes wakati bully wamekufisha the end. Kawa ni form 4 ama form 3 ama form nini. Utoe bed yangu hapa tena kesho ufanye nini? Uirudishe kwa first queue. Kawa ni mwanaume. Lo and behold, the next night the same thing happened. Sasa ile bidikanuke man.
close to heart is where you stay.
But this guy was so much bigger than I am. I don't know why some of these guys used to be so big. Jamana tosha na 6 feet na baada yako form 4. Unavaa uoe baba nani?
Gonna miss you again.
So this time as nikamwaniaje I have to report this to the authorities. So nikaenda nikamwambia our senior teacher at that time alikuwa Mr. Young Man.
Miss you again.
Young Man. So after nimefanya investigation niliambiwa who took my beddings akaziweka kwa first cube. So nikamwambia Young Man calls the guy. Alikuwa anaitwa William. Akachapwa na akaambiwa rudishe bed zangu maana zilikuwa na asiwai.
When you gotta miss you again.
Never should you dare move Atina's beddings. Atina was a G. So at form 1 first time bro nalala kwa kona. Some form 4s wanala bed za juu. Bro, I was a G. G why? Because I stood up for myself. Stand up for yourself when time comes.
Again. Gotta miss you again. When you gotta miss you again.
So ladies and gentlemen, we are 57 minutes in. I don't think we have any more time to do a show that's past 1 hour. But nataka niwapatie parting shots. There will definitely be a part 2B of this next week. Mali tuna delve into women. No, I mean girls. When did I get exposed to kukatiana? Now niko form 2. And who did it? That will be our version of the story next week. But for now nataka nipatie shout outs kwa watu wamesupport show. Shout out Polika Pongaki. Shout out Miss Kabe. Shout out Brian, mtu wangu wa KSL pale. Shout out Collins Maze, the smartest guy in the building. As we finish, Maze, shout out to Agwenge niliona comment yako pale. Shout out to myself, man. Shout out to my mother mwenye alibuy hizi equipment. Shout out to everybody mwenye support this show since last week, man. I might not be able to know all of you, but everyone mwenye support, I want to say that I'm grateful. And I promise I'll never give up. I never let down, because it's risk o'clock. Bye bye, and I hope to see you next week. Gang. Bye bye.